Today on Tack and Track, we focus on track.
Well, first of all, we're going to make sure that the engine runs because it hasn't run in
probably 5 or 6 years since the last time this thing even turned over.
and that's not a problem. We'll get it running.
The first order of business in getting it to run was to solve some of the wiring issues. Previously, the vehicle had been wrecked, damaging the right side switches from the original Honda 919 donor bike. Those switches include the start and stop switches on the motorcycles. We had to solve that issue before we could even begin trying to get the vehicle to turn over. Next order of business was to get the vehicle to turn over and make all the right noises.
So if you were unreasonable and you did something stupid, good. It was sounding just like it should just then.
But without all the right variables, it's going to run right. We're making noise. We've got ignition.
I think we're at the point to where, at this point in time, I'm confident enough that this motor will run and properly set up to take the next steps.
Quick little overview on where we are. Last night, we got this little guy over here to make some noise, got it out. Then we started breaking down chassis. So we got the control arms that you can see over here on the ground off the car. We did have one casualty doing that. So this one that was on over here was rusted bad enough to where we broke one of the bolts. This little guy right here, getting that off. So that's gonna be a big deal to get out. We're gonna have to handle that. The other problem that we've got right now is this bolt right here that holds our brake pedal in place is almost impossible to get out. We've been trying to get that out for a while. We're gonna go ahead and sandblast with that guy in there. The rest of the chassis, we can kind of see what it's looking like. This is off of the motorcycle. We're gonna leave that on for this too, but that's our motor mount. We're gonna have to redo the one back here in the back, but there is one back here. And we've got a little bit of rust in some places, just kind of as you're looking at it, that's somewhat concerning, like that right there. You can see some rust up here in the corners. So we're gonna sandblast it, kind of see what this thing looks like once it's all blasted down, and kind of figure out where we are.
So, if you've never sandblasted before, it really isn't much fun. The problem with sandblasting is that you're blasting sand, and that sand's blasting back at you really fast. It will get in every single nook and cranny on your body, which is not a problem if you can shower later that day, but if you have to go, say, film a bunch of gun videos, you're going to have sand all over you. The other problem we had was that it wasn't terribly effective in certain areas. Some of the paint came off really well. The black paint that was already on it came off, but some of that pink paint that was under the black was really, really stubborn. And even by the time we finished day 2, we still had a lot of grinding to do with an angle grinder, which is probably what we should have done in the first place. If you're going to use an angle grinder to remove paint, be sure that you use a flap wheel, because that's going to not eat too much into the metal, but remove the paint really well. And in our next video, you're going to see us painting this frame in a product called POR 15, which is an amazing product. It's a chemical paint that will return rust into metal and add rigidity to the entire go-kart frame.